Ever feel like you're running full speed on a treadmill, working harder than ever, saving diligently every month, yet your money barely seems to move forward? Like you're pushing a massive boulder uphill and it just keeps rolling back? That's the reality for most people in the early stages of wealth building. The hours are long, the sacrifices are real, and the progress feels painfully slow. But what if I told you everything changes, and faster than you think, once you hit a few key turning points? See, there's this powerful shift that happens when your money starts working harder than you do. Most people imagine it as one magical moment, but in reality, there are three distinct tipping points, each one transforming your relationship with money forever. And once you pass them, you'll never look at your job, your savings, or even your future the same way again. Today, we're going to break down those three tipping points, how they work, why they matter, and exactly what to do to reach them sooner. Because this isn't just about growing your bank account, it's about building quiet wealth, adopting the habits of millionaires, and creating the freedom to live life entirely on your terms. The struggle phase. In the beginning, wealth building feels like a grind. You're budgeting, cutting expenses, working extra hours, maybe even starting a side hustle. You're investing what you can, $200 here, $500 there, and watching your portfolio crawl forward. And here's the frustrating truth. At first, almost all of your portfolio's growth comes from you, not from the market. If you've got $10,000 invested and the market goes up 7%, that's just $700. You probably put in more than that yourself in a single month. It feels like pouring water into a bucket with a leak. But if you keep going, something amazing starts to happen. Your money starts to take over. The engine shifts from your effort to the power of compounding. And this shift doesn't happen all at once. It comes in stages. Tipping point. The first tipping point happens when your investments earn more in a year than you contribute. At the start, your deposits dwarf your returns. You might put in $6,000 in a year and see only $1,000 in growth from the market. But fast forward a few years, and if your portfolio hits $100,000, a 10% return means $10,000 in growth, more than your $6,000 contribution. That's the moment when your money officially starts outperforming you. It's no longer just along for the ride. You've got a second engine pushing you forward. This stage is crucial because it's when you start to feel compounding. You're still working hard, but your portfolio is quietly working harder. And that realization, it fuels your motivation like nothing else. Tipping point 2. The second tipping point is even more life-changing. It's when your investments earn as much or more than your job pays. Let's say you earn $50,000 a year. If your portfolio is $500,000 and grows by 10%, you've just made another $50,000 without lifting a finger. You've cloned your income. You've created a second you that works silently in the background without coffee breaks, office politics, or commutes. And here's the kicker. This second you gets an automatic raise as your portfolio grows. This stage is where your relationship with work changes forever. You're no longer trapped. You can negotiate raises without fear, take time off without guilt, or even leave a toxic job knowing your investments have your back. This is the stage where quiet wealth becomes a reality. Millionaires don't just earn from work, they have multiple income clones in the form of investments, rentals, or businesses producing cash flow. Tipping point 3. The final tipping point, full financial independence. This is when your portfolio can safely support a 4 to 5% withdrawal rate, enough to cover your living expenses for life without depleting the principal. If you've got $125 million invested, 4% is $50,000 a year for the rest of your life. That's when you can officially say, I don't have to work another day if I don't want to. Now, here's the beautiful part. Most people who reach this stage still choose to work. But they work on their terms. They pick projects they care about, take months off to travel, or spend more time with family because the need to trade time for money is gone. Why the first $100,000 feels impossible. Now, let's circle back to the most discouraging stage, getting to that first $100,000. Charlie Munger famously said, "The first $100,000 is the hardest." And he's right. Those early years are like preparing the foundation for a skyscraper. You're digging, pouring concrete, reinforcing steel, but to the outside world, nothing's visible. That's why most people give up before they ever see the building rise. But the second you cross that line, compounding starts to accelerate. At $100,000, a 10% return is $10,000 in a year. At $200,000, it's $20,000. At $400,000, it's $40,000. And here's the kicker. You don't have to work harder to get those gains. Your money is doing the heavy lifting. Why most people never get there. So why doesn't everyone hit these tipping points? Simple, they quit too soon. They start saving, but after a few years of slow progress, an emergency pops up. Or they get tempted by lifestyle upgrades, and they pull money out. The truth, the big returns come later. The early years are supposed to feel boring. They're the price of admission to financial freedom. And this is why the habits of millionaires look boring from the outside. They stay invested, keep adding, and resist the urge to cash out too soon. The compounding acceleration. Once you hit the third tipping point, the math gets almost absurd. At 10% annual growth, your portfolio doubles roughly every 7 years. That means $1 million becomes $2 million, then $4 million, all while you're withdrawing just 4% and letting the rest keep compounding. Your wealth grows even in retirement. And here's the most liberating part, you stop stressing about money. Not because you've suddenly won the lottery, but because you trust the process. You've seen firsthand how powerful compounding can be once the machine is running. The real reward. These tipping points aren't just about numbers, they're about freedom. Freedom to say no to a job that drains you. Freedom to take a month off and not worry about rent. Freedom to spend time with your kids, start a passion project, or travel the world, because money is no longer the main deciding factor in your choices. Some people hit these stages in their 30s, others in their 50s or 60s. The timing doesn't matter as much as staying in the game long enough to experience them. If you're in that slow climb right now, wondering if all this saving, investing, and sacrificing is even worth it, remember this, you're building momentum. The uphill push won't last forever. There's a point where the boulder starts rolling on its own, where every dollar you've invested brings friends along for the ride and where your money starts chasing you. Stay the course, keep stacking, your tipping point is coming. And when it does, it'll feel like magic, because it is. The magic of time, patience, and the quiet power of compounding. If this video lit a fire under you, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button so more people can discover the truth about building wealth. Subscribe for more powerful, no-fluff strategies on making money, saving smart, investing wisely, and building quiet wealth that lasts for generations. And drop a comment below telling me, which tipping point are you aiming for right now? Thanks for watching, and I would see you in the next one.